Well, welcome to the Beyond Cinema Studios presented by Celebs.com up here at Sundance. Lindsay, Dermot, Calvin. Firstly, day of.
Yes.
How does that feel for you?
It's good, man. I'm really excited. We've been here for 4 days, so it feels like it's time to get going on this.
Of course, you're almost a Sundance veteran at your young age.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Does it feel like family at this stage, or do you still get a case of the nerves?
The nerves are good. It feels like family for sure. The programmers, I love hanging out with those guys, and I love this place.
And of course, the Rambler started off as a short as well.
Yeah.
So was it always your intention to bust it out into a feature?
Pretty much after we completed the short, that idea became. So yeah.
Yeah. And how early? I mean, I know Lindsay obviously been a muse from the beginning.
Absolutely.
When did Dermot come into the picture?
Right when the project started becoming real, and it was kind of told to me that in order to make a movie like this, you need a saleable talent. And then his name came right up, and I was like, absolutely, let's meet that guy. So,
as people kind of look at people's work when they know it just inherently. What for you was which Dermot was your Dermot?
It was an amalgam of the Young Guns Dermot and the Dermot from Undertow together.
So not about Schmidt Dermot.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I do love that Dermot.
Yeah, no, that's a good Dermot. Even I'll admit. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So for you, what was the first time you met Calvin? Was it over the phone, or did you sit down in a cafe?
No, he sent me a letter and either a DVD. So I was able to see the short. But I also watched The Oregonian, which was in competition, I think, 2 years ago, or at least was at the festival.
It was at midnight, yeah.
At the same midnight branch that we're in now. Just that opening where she comes to life in this car wreck, that feeling of being like really brutalized and not knowing how you got there. Really appealed to me. And in this, you have some of the same sensation. A lot of movies leave you at the end wondering. You talk about it at dinner with your friends. This one,
yeah.
Holy shit.
So obviously it premieres tonight, midnight screening.
It's perfect. It's such a freaky movie, man. I hope everybody comes drunk.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they also
they
know pretty much.
Calvin,
drunk or cold.
No, that's what I mean. The freakier the audience, the better this movie's gonna be. That's this. I don't know the programmers, but they stopped me last night and they were so gleeful about having the Rambler in their festival. They got 100 movies to deal with, and they have a little space left for the Rambler because it is what it's. It's what it is.
It must also be nice when you are the Rambler.
And that's awesome too. I have to admit, for sure.
Yeah. To
be a title character and not it be the guy's name.
Yeah.
And you never learn it. Her character's name. The girl, that's all you know her as.
Yeah. The Oregonian also had such minimal dialogue, but all these kind of crazy sounds that drove some people completely fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So is there a continuation of that here, or is this much more dialogue driven? Did you want
to? There's more dialogue, but I try not to overuse words, and I do incorporate the sound design. Hopefully it bleeds over enough. It'll be more talking for sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too much though.
How's it changed between you and Lindsay over the years? Is it just still the same shorthand you've had it the whole time, or have you found that now that she's had so many other experiences working with other directors that you have to kind of bring a different game?
I think I have to bring a different game for everything we do. Every scene is different, so I'd say it's always been evolving. There's never one thing I can call back on. Even the scenes that we reshot in shorts, or from the Rambler short to the feature, didn't feel very familiar. So I think every experience is new. I just try to treat it like that.
Yeah.
I witnessed some amazing rapport between these two because they've been together for a long time and work together. So they're what would you call yourselves? Colleagues.
Yeah.
Let's call them colleagues. But when you see the film, you'll see what kind of real life jeopardy Lindsay has put in by her man Calvin. So I'm like, you guys are good with this. I'm good with this.
Yeah.
But underneath all that was this incredible protective instinct that I saw that surfaced itself really just once or twice, and I knew as much as he was asking of her. The main thing, of course, was her safety and her mental well-being. So I think, if I'm not mistaken or not speaking out of turn, I think Calvin pulled the plug once or twice, just on her behalf, because really the stuff that Lindsay was asked to do physically is beyond what anyone's really capable of. Yeah. And yet she did it, and he made her do it anyhow. Yeah.
That's my boyfriend.
That's my man.
Do you guys though have a different, like after going off and doing Justified and True Blood and having these kind of, what's weird is that they've both also become such cult things. Yeah. And of course Calvin, gets that word associated with him all the time too. Right. But is there a different viewfinder for you looking back at Calvin now that you've been on these shows?
I absolutely love working with him because we do have a shorthand, and I know now that we've been together for a while, I know his brain really well, and I can almost visualize how everything is going to look and how it's going to sound, and that to me is really exciting because I know in the back of my mind, oh my God, this is going to be incredible, or this is going to be so fucked up, or it's just, I know his brain so well, and that's really fun to see.
Could you ever have kind of foreseen all that sort of stuff happening back in Pile Driver, Little Farm days?
Absolutely not. But I will say, when he first gave me the script for Pile Driver, I didn't know him at all. We met in an acting class, and I was kind of skeptical. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll read this and we'll see. But I read it, and I was instantly hooked. I was like, this is so weird. And, as soon as I met him, I just, I fell for him. He's got a really great mind.
But like you say, look at Justified or True Blood, Lindsay, for whatever reason, is an actress that you can really go to when it comes to the bizarre.
That's true.
And yet in real life she doesn't really give off that sensation necessarily, at least not to me. So I find that fascinating that you keep getting called up to go bloody or to go, go out to the deep end.
There's something really malleable about her, though. You watch her perform. She's so natural as a director. And I think probably the directors that audition you look like, oh, we can make you do anything, and you have this look that we can totally play against.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
So do you still have? You're from Utah originally?
I am. Yeah.
So do you still have family up here and stuff?
I do, and they're all going to be at the screening, our Salt Lake screening. They're huge. They're very big supporters of Calvin, and it's fun. A lot of my family's Mormon. Half my family's Mormon, and half of them aren't. But even the Mormons come. So it's kind of fun.
And what about just in terms of logistics? Where'd you shoot this? Up in the Pacific Northwest again? Or?
No, we shot it sadly down in New Mexico. But even Jimmy Buffett left Key West. So sometimes you got to leave the nest.
Val Kilmer territory.
But not Val Kilmer territory. Southern New Mexico, Roswell, so southeastern New Mexico. So much different look than you see a lot of films take out of Santa Fe or a Taos Tasuki. So, this is a different place. I know it was probably written like his shorts with the woods in mind, but for myriad reasons we find ourselves in dusty cul-de-sac city of the
is that just incentives and all that sort of stuff, or?
I really got excited about the idea of New Mexico, and it was really easy to switch the initial vision. So incentive definitely played a part of it. It's which of the incentive states do you want to shoot in, and New Mexico was my first choice.
And what it provided for you was the soul of the movie, that it's just shifted, and his ability to do that so fast with such facility was awesome. And what we got were amazing locations with Sulphur Springs and weird landscapes that you wouldn't have found in the Northwest. You'd have another quality, but this gave it some sort of grotesque aspects.
So can we expect to see the equivalent of the hippie witches and the green fur-suited people and stuff?
I think we'll exceed it. I think we'll exceed it.
Hey, let's be honest. Calvin and I had a conversation about the Oregonian, and one of his big concerns was that the blood didn't match very well. You know what I mean? When you cut to the next thing, you shot 2 days later, and she's still all bloody on the head, that maybe that drip is there or whatever. And so you cut it right next to each other and it jumps out. So I'll say to Calvin, and there's a lot of cigarette smoking in this movie too, which you always have to, you have to match that. Impeccable. So as good as the Oregonian was in terms of continuity, the Rambler's better. Outdone himself with continuity.
So that's the one thing they can't take away from us.
That's right. I had one friend who invites me to a screening of his movie, and he's just got a small role, but I go to support him, and afterwards I was like, it wasn't much of a film, and he knew it, I knew it, so I was just like, dude, your continuity was incredible. They cut between those shots and your hand was in exactly the same spot. I mean, it was just amazing.
So we're going to switch out the adjective cult to continuity, Calvin.
Exactly.
That would be great. I would like
New
to.
title.
I would like to be a pioneer.
No, what he did is he took all that he's brought to Sundance up till now and put it in like an ironclad package. So you get it all in, like you were talking about the sound design and different coloration and visual effects, you know, minor effects here and there. And frankly, practical effects
Lots
that
of practical
will
effects.
really blow you away. I mean, stuff that
Well, that's what's cool as well,
explodes.
is that it seems like on this one you got a bigger play kit. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple extra people to help you out, so you didn't have to do absolutely everything yourself. And
Yeah.
For me, it was gigantic. I think for these guys, it was still very small. But
But everybody approached this job with the dedication
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
needed, because otherwise, if it didn't have that intensity, it wouldn't be the film it is.
Yeah.
very cool.
Including the crew, I mean to say.
Yeah.
Well, we're thrilled to have you come by here on the day of your premiere. Wishing you all the best tonight. Enjoy it.
Thanks.
And
Thanks.
hopefully we'll get to see you soon.